Yeah, good afternoon, students. Once again, a warm welcome to the computer organization online session. So, with the last video, we successfully completed unit number one revision. Now we are entering to the unit number two. So, before start the unit number two, just you have to watch the important question sheet. What we have to revise. That is the sheet what I shared to you in your WhatsApp groups. So, important questions. So, here in the unit number one, so we covered all these five questions. Basic functional units of computer. There are total five functional units of computer: input unit, output unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit, and control unit. So the combination of ALU, CU, and memory unit call it at CPU. So mainly input unit, output unit, and CPU. So CPU consisting of ALU, CU, and memory unit. So and the second question is a basic operational concept. So there is another possibility to ask this question in another way, that is how data is transferred from memory to processor. So bus and bus structure, system software, and system performance. How to calculate system performance? P is equal to N into S by R. That is the equation we discussed in the last video. So along with these five questions, there are another two more questions are there. That is generations of computers and types of computers. Now coming to the unit number two. So here, unit number two and unit number three all are related to the instructions format. So if you observe the unit number two important questions: define register, what is register, and explain about register organization. Define instruction and explain different types of instructions. Addressing modes, stack, queue, and instruction cycle. Register, instruction, types of instruction, addressing modes, define stack and stack organization, queue and queue organization, define instruction cycle and different phases in instruction cycle. And coming to the third one, unit number three, explain about arithmetic instruction with read diagram, logic instruction, arithmetic logical circuit unit, arithmetic logic and shift unit, branch instruction, and input output instructions. So in this video, maximum I covered topics related to these two units. This is unit number two, instruction and instruction sequencing. So a computer must have instructions and capable of performing four operations. So what is meant by an instruction? An instruction is the combination of opcode and operand. So a group of instructions is called as a program. So a program is a collection of instructions. Set of a program is a set of instructions. So if you have to execute total instructions in a program, then a program is executed. So what is an instruction? Instruction is nothing but a combination of both operation and opcode. So we have to perform any task. So we need some operands and opcode. So here there are four operations: data transfer between memory and process register, so here instruction and instruction sequencer. A computer must have instruction capable of performing the four operations: data transfer between the memory and processor register, arithmetic and logical operations, programming sequence and control, and finally IO transfer instructions. The first one, register transfer language. So before going to start instruction, first we have to know what is a register. So a register is a high speed and small storage area in CPU. High speed and small storage area in a CPU. Register will store data when the micro operations are executing. So what is meant by micro operation? So a program is nothing but a group of instructions, set of instructions. An instruction is the combination of different micro operations. So an instruction is split down into smaller micro operations and it can execute for better result. So a program is a group of instruction and instruction is split down into smaller micro operations and executes. So here the register is a high speed and small storage area in CPU, and register will store data when the micro operation are executing. So the register is divided into small cells. Each cell is capable of 1 bit of information, that means either 0 or 1. So in our traditional language it is called it as either flip or flop computer organization. So register is a small storage area, stores the data, whatever the data. Register will store data when the micro operation are executing. So the temporary storage area register is the. So the register starting bit can be represented by 0 and ends with n minus 1 bit. Ends with n minus 1 bit. If you observe, this example is the 8-bit register. 8-bit register, so LSB and MSB. So 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means 0 is the starting bit and n minus 1. See, here n is 8. So 8 minus 1, 7. So 7 is the end bit. Starting bit is 0 and ending bit is 7 is the 8-bit register. So coming to the 16-bit register, and 16-bit register is divided into two parts. So lower order and higher order. So lower order 0 to 7 and higher order 8 to 15 bits. 0 to 7 bits are lower order and 8 to 15 bits are higher order. So the register are representing with the capital letters followed by numbers. So the registers are represented with the capital letters followed by numbers, that is R2, R1, R0, R6, R7, R8, like in this manner. So the above operation specifies the transfer. So R1 to R2. It specifies the data of R1 moves to R2. So the data placed in R1 moves to R2. This is the representation of this equation. R1, this is called it as R1 tends to R2. So the data there in R1, R1 on the data, it moves to the R2. So we want to transfer the data from one register to another register. We follow the some conditions. That is, if P is equal to 1, then R1 tends to R2. Here R1 is the source register, R2 is the destination register, and arrow mark represents the transfer of the data. So if the P is the control signal, it generates by a control unit. P is a control signal, it generated by a control unit, and P is a Boolean value either 0 or 1. P is Boolean value either 0 or 1. So this is the above statement. P stands for R1 tends to R2. That means R1 data transferred to R2. So the control unit, P is the control unit, it sends either the bits 0 or 1. So this is the RTL. Registered Transfer Language. RTL stands for Registered Transfer Language. It can be represented with special symbols. So capital letters, arrow mark, and parenthesis, and comma. So these are the symbols using in the RTL, Registered Transfer Language. For example, IR, MAR, MDR, PC, R1, R2, R3, R4, R7, so on, R7. These are the examples for the register. How we have to be write the registers. So in capital letters and arrow mark, it represents the data transfer from one register to another register, and parenthesis, which is using for the partition of the register, and comma to separate two operations. So here two operations. So what are the two operations? R1 data transferred to R2, and R2's data addition with R4. So after the result, it moves to R3. So here two operations are running at a time. First, here R1 data transferred to R2. Thereafter, so comma, it separates the operation. So next operation is R2's data addition with R4, and result moves to R3. So this is the bus transfer. The process of transferring information between the register through the bus is called bus transfer. So data transferred from one register to another register by using bus. So here data from R1 transferred to bus, from bus to R2. For example, R1 consisting the value of 9. So I have to move R1 value of R1 to R2. Now the data of R1 first moves to bus. From there onwards, data moves from bus to R2. And memory transfer. How the data is transferred by using memory. So the memory will store data and instructions. The memory will store data and instructions during the program execution. So in the earlier video, I'm already discussed. So how a program is executed. How a program is executed. So a program is a set of instructions. If the program is available there in the system, that means if the program is stored in the secondary memory, from secondary memory onwards, data moves to primary memory. From there onwards, data moves to processor, nothing but ALU for execution purpose. If data is not available there in the secondary memory, if you need input, so input is taken from the input devices like keyboard, mouse, or scanner, whatever it may be. So how the data is transferred? So data is transferred from either secondary memory or from the input device. That is the initial step, either from secondary memory or from the input device. The second step is there onwards, in the time of execution, data first moves from the either from the input device or from the secondary memory to the primary memory, that is RAM. So there onwards, data moves to the CPU, nothing but a processor. So there ALU executing the operations that we discussed in the earlier video, in the basic operational concept of the data transferred between processor and a memory. So how the data is transferred? So data initially started from either from secondary memory or from the input device. There onwards, data moves to the primary memory. There onwards, data by using buses, either data bus, control bus, and address bus, data moves to the CPU. So CPU is the combination of different temporary registers and MAR, MDR, PC, IR, along with some registers like R0 to R7 temporary registers, and it consisting of ALU and CU. So data moves to the CPU. There the execution is started. So the memory will store data and instructions during the program execution. The memory transfer one by one instructions sent to the CPU. So I'm already discussing. So we have to be explained in Telugu. సో హౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ని ఎలా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తామో మనం ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి అంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్లో ఉన్న ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మొత్తం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి. ప్రోగ్రామ్స్లో ఉన్న ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మొత్తం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్లో 10 ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటే టోటల్ 10 నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మొత్తం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితేనే ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్కి అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది. దట్ మీన్స్ ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఏం జరుగుతుంది, ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ 1 to instruction 10 టోటల్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి. సో ముందు ఏ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా అంటే అది మీరు ఇచ్చి అక్కడ కోడ్ మీరు రాసేదాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. లూప్ కొన్నిసార్లు జంప్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రాస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో గో టు, సో ఇలాంటి స్టేట్మెంట్ రాస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో I1 ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా, I2 ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా, I3 ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా అనేది అది మీరు రాసే కోడ్ను బట్టి డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. సో ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ 1 నుంచి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయడం స్టార్ట్ అయితే టోటల్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ 10 వరకు ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్లో ఉన్న 10 ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితేనే టోటల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఏమవుతుంది, ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ బై ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఒక్కొక్క ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ మెయిన్ మెమరీ దగ్గర నుంచి సిపియూకి నథింగ్ బట్ ALU దగ్గర ప్రాసెసర్ దగ్గరికి మూవ్ అవుతుంది. దేర్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత సో దట్ విల్ బి బ్యాక్ అగైన్ అండ్ దేర్ ఇట్ ప్లేసింగ్ ఎట్ ద రిజిస్టర్స్. సో ఈ విధంగా ఉన్న ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ అన్నిటిని మనం 1 by 1 ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే దెన్ ఇఫ్ ఆల్ ద ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఆర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ దెన్ ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. సో CPU execute the instructions and the result may be stored in CPU register or any memory location. So after the execution of instructions, the result may be stored in either one of the CPU register or any memory location. So the memory transfer is a process of reading and writing data from memory and CPU. So what are the two transfers consisting of there? What are the two operations there? One is read operation, second one is write operation. So if CPU needs data, it sends read signal. After the completion of execution, it sends write signal. So read and write operations. So read operation, the read operation read the data in specific memory location into CPU registers. It is the RTL representation. M of AR tends to MDR. That means address register to data register, address register to data register, read operation. So from one particular memory location to CPU, if data is transferred, that is called read operation. So after the completion of execution, if transfer new information will store in the memory, that is MAR to MDR and DR to M of AR, then it is called a write operation. So here we perform both read and write operations for execution of one particular task, that is execution of an instructions. So this is the basic introduction for unit number 2. So here in the unit number 2, the introduction part we covered what is the need for register. So register is a high speed small storage area. So where we are using registers, we are using registers in the CPU. So what is the need for register? Register stores the data. So whatever the data it stores is so whenever an instruction is splitted down into the micro operations, these micro operations are stored in the registers. So before going to the execution, nothing but before going to the ALU or before going to the processor, so the micro operation, the data stored in the registers. So register is a temporary storage area and a small high speed storage area. So in this way, how the data is transferred, bus transfer, register transfer language and memory transfer. So these topics we covered in this session. And now next, completed this slide. Assembly language. Yeah, assembly language registers. So here the assembly languages are the second generation programming language. Assembly language are the second generation programming language. And the assembly language instructions can be represented in in mnemonics. So assembly language need assemble software to convert assembly language in mission language. So here addition of 9 plus 6 in assembly language. So generally 9 plus 6 is the numerical, but in assembly language how we have to write is move r1 comma 9. So now 9 moves to the register r1, move r2 comma 6, 6 moves to the r2. Now add r1 comma r2. So 9 is there in register R1 and 6 is there in R2. These are temporary registers. Is the micro operation. Is the one of the micro operation. So when the time of executing a micro operation, the micro operated data is moved to the register. So 9 moved to the register R1 and 6 moved to the register R2 and add R1 comma R2. Now the data in the R1 and data in the R2 moves to the ALU, nothing but processor. There the addition is completed. And the second example, move R1 comma 1000. So the value there in the exact address location 1000 moves to the R1. So ఇక్కడ 1000 address location లో ఏదైతే value ఉందో, so that is moving to the R1 register దగ్గరికి move అవుతుంది. This is the example for the assembly language. So how the system is executing the code. So whatever the code you are writing by using C, C++, Java, Python, Oracle, whatever the programming languages you are using. So how the backend process are running, how the system is executing your program, how an instructions are executed. So by using this assembly language, so system only understands the assembly language, not on the instead of programming language. So the data of 1000 locations are unchanged by exchanging of the instructions, but the old data of R1 register are now instruction types or instruction formats. So how many types of instructions are there? So where the data came from, depending upon that we can decide instruction types or instruction formats. So instruction, సో డేటా ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది? సో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవడానికి ఇన్పుట్ డివైస్ దగ్గర నుంచి వస్తుందా, మెమరీ దగ్గర నుంచి, సెకండరీ మెమరీ దగ్గర నుంచి వస్తుందా అనే దాని మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యి మనం ఈ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ టైప్స్, ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫార్మేట్ని స్ప్లిట్ చేస్తాము. సో హియర్ ద ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫార్మేట్స్ ఆర్ an opcode field that specifies the operation to be performed an operand. So opcode field is specified just what is meant by opcode. Opcode is nothing but operation, plus, minus, division, all these are the opcodes, is equals to, all these are the operations are opcodes. So the opcode field that specifies the operation to be performed on operands. An operand address field that design a memory address or a CPU register. So depending upon that, there are mainly 4 types of instruction formats. There are 4 types of instruction format in computer that are commonly used there. That is a 3 address instruction, 2 address instruction, and 1 address instruction, and 0 address instruction. So 3 address instruction format. So is the example. Opcode, destination, source 1, source 2. Add A comma B comma C. Add A comma B comma C. That means here the data in the B and data in the C added itself and moves to the A. For example, B consisting of value 8 and C consisting of value 6. Both 8 and 6 added, then moves to the destination. What is the destination here? A. So A, B, C are the 3 registers. So here A is the empty register and B and C are the value based registers. So here it touches 3 addresses. For that purpose, the address space is 3 address instruction format. So how many addresses it touches? It touches 3 addresses: register A, register B, and register C. Likewise, 2 address register, opcode, destination, and source. That means A and B. So A plus B. So here the A value and B value are added together and moves to the A. So here A as the destination as well as source. So here 2 address instructions. Here we touch only 2 address locations, that is destination and source. Here A acting as both source and destination. And next 1 address instruction. So opcode plus source, add B. సో ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ ఒక అడ్రస్ ఇచ్చాడు కదమ్మా. హౌ మరి బిలో ఉన్న డేటా దేంతో యాడ్ అవ్వాలి? సో దట్ మీన్స్ హియర్ the data there in this register B will add it to the data there in accumulator. So accumulator is nothing but a temporary register. Accumulator is nothing but a temporary register. So whenever we execute a micro operation, the result is first stored in the temporary register accumulator. So if any data is available there in accumulator, if you are write code add B, so B is added with the data available there in accumulator. Accumulator is one of the register. We can represent accumulator by AC or A. So that is one address register. So accumulator is a special register that associated in ALU. Accumulator stores intermediate values during the execution of a instruction. So accumulator represents as either AC or A. And one address, and finally zero address. Zero address. So only operation field is specified. The stack organized computer doesn't use the address field for the instruction add and multiplication. The push and pop instructions need an address field to specify the operand that communicate with the stack. So there is no specific representation of instruction for any stack and queue representation type of instructions that need one particular address for up and down movings. So that is called zero address instructions. Push A, push B, push add, push C, push D, like this. Here is the question, one of the important questions, that is instruction formats. So we covered here three topics, that is what is an instruction and what is a register, what are the instruction formats, 3 address, 2 address, 1 address and 0 address, and how the data is transferred from memory to memory to processor, and from secondary memory to processor, and how the data is transferred from IO device to the processor. So those topics we covered here in this video, and next in the next class we discuss about addressing modes and instruction cycle and types of instructions. Okay, in the next class we covered these topics. So addressing modes, so which is very most important one. So that's why exclusively I made a video for addressing modes and instruction types and instruction cycle. Okay, that's it for today's class.